Welcome to the Two and a Half Citizens podcast. I'm Zen.
It's your boy P.
And we got a special guest with us today.
Hey guys, I'm Sean Sorley. How are y'all doing?
It's going good. Do you want to tell us what your title, what you consider yourself?
Well, I am a auto body mechanic that also does stand-up comedy.
So we gonna focus on the stand because we don't ever be telling our real jobs. I feel like.
No.
Like I feel like real jobs, we'd be
okay.
like, what's a real job?
Yeah.
Right. In this economy, real jobs don't exist no more.
Yeah.
In this economy.
Yeah. So,
all right. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Year and some change. I started in March of last year, right after I just gotten laid off from a youth pastorship due to COVID. It just killed our books, and so last hired, first fired, I had to go, and it sucked. But honestly, it gave me a leg up in comedy because I've been cracking jokes to a room of 11 to 17-year-olds.
Right.
The deadest crowd that you will ever have in front of you.
Yeah, they're too cool for school. It's funny how pastors
they're too cool for church too.
Yeah,
apparently
they pastors do walk that line sometimes, especially now modern times. It's like it can be kind of like a little stand-up routine.
Well, so I was literally thinking about this recently. I was actually having a conversation about like, I mean, if we're being real, it's an art form like anything else, except you got to act like it comes from somewhere else. Like you didn't practice this and perfect this. God somehow gave. Like the idea is supposed to be like God speaking to you. So it's like, I think about mega churches and I'm like, all right, well, they get someone who's been working on this craft and low key kind of just the best at speaking.
Yeah.
Then they get like a worship band who's like the best at writing songs and then like make a mega church. But all in all, I mean, you getting the substance from like the Bible and
I'm gonna go ahead and say I still attend my church. Like I'm still on. I'm part of the Next Step staff, so I help the new members that want to get connected. I help them get connected. But like, dude, I'm glad I'm not a youth pastor anymore, man. That shit is stressful, bro.
I bet. Yeah.
Dude,
I feel like it's like being a cop and then being a youth pastor is like the most looked down upon professions right now.
Oh my gosh. And so I'm not gonna say what church I attend, but that's why my position was open when I got it was the like two dudes in a row. Just
It's so difficult because when you see that, I wonder like what.
That is the one thing that just fucking sets me off. Like you can't do that to a kid, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's obviously like a power thing. So then it's like, what are you doing the thing for, right? There's like a lot of those jobs where you're like, what is the goal here? Because if you're just trying, like if you're doing this for what you, I guess, should be doing it for, you're just trying to educate people.
Yeah.
But then if like you start looking at it like I have the power here,
See, and that was the thing through all my sermons and things to the kids. Like I was always teaching them, like it is not about me and you. It's about and it's not about doing right or wrong either, because you're gonna do bad things. It's gonna happen. It's part of life. The difference between you being a believer and a non-believer is you recognize that as a mistake, you ask for forgiveness for it, and then you try your hardest not to fuck up again. And I accidentally said that on stage one time, and I didn't even realize it. And so, like at the end of the sermon, there were like two kids crying, and so I walk off the stage after praying, and my co-pastor comes up. She goes, "Do you know what you just did up there?" And I was like, I killed it. That's exactly what I just did. Do you not see these two kids crying right now?" I was like, I almost teared up.
Dude, like...
She goes, "No, you said fuck on stage." I was like,
right?
Maybe I needed to.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so I have a question with that. So you did the transition, and it was kind of like something happened, and it made you feel like, okay, well, this is opening up a door to something else. Do you find in comedy that like religion, like you don't see it so much that it's almost looked down upon in comedy? Like so many people
absolutely
are anti-religious that it kind of puts you in a weird spot?
It doesn't put me in a weird spot because I have had I'll say I've never had an uncivilized conversation about religion and comedy. They've always been very respectful. We've all shared both of our viewpoints, and in a lot of cases, we both walked away like learning something new. So no, I won't say that I feel looked down upon, because all these guys know that I was a youth pastor. And like, I'm not an asshole. So like, they're like, eh, Sean's a pretty like. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I feel like Christians get a bad rep, and like I'm a Christian as well, so it's like, you know,
so,
you don't have to take yourself so seriously. You don't have to do all these things, and it's
no, and that's
okay.
the whole thing is like Jesus tells us you can't get to heaven by works alone.
Yeah.
So why are we all out here just trying to do good works to try to earn our way? You can't.
Yeah.
He already paid the price for you.
Right.
Like, tickets paid. You don't have to do anything besides like just read what it like. The whole point of it is it's not to change your life. It's not to make. Fuck. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. Not the best way, but like the one that makes the most sense.
Right.
It's not about doing good things to get into heaven. It's you have accepted Jesus into your life, and through that you start doing good things naturally.
Because look, I've been in and out of church, and like my opinion on religion has changed a lot. And what I always understood is, the whole idea is living the word of God to where you become God-like, and then you lead by example. So people kind of then say, what makes this person different? Oh, it's because he's walking with God, and you see the illumination or whatever from them, and you're not doing good deeds to basically try to get into heaven. It's just walking in that light is going to lead to you doing good things. You're doing
good deeds because you want to do them, because you've seen the grace that has been imparted on your life for all the fuck-ups that we've had. Like, this week alone, I probably deserve to go to hell already. But, like, ticket got paid, man.
Yeah. So
that's
now it's about like the gratitude, right? I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what it is.
And I think
gratitude.
what a modern, not even modern religion, but like religion has been. It's very like you have to. It's very it's an obligation.
It's very black and white.
Yeah, and it's like you have to do this, you have to do that, and
there's no room. Like if you mess up, you're a fuck up. Like that's what they do is they beat sin down so much that they make people feel like that they are not allowed to sin. And that is not at all the case, because we're humans. We were born sinful. It's going to happen. It's just when we accept Jesus, we have an extra, like we have that forgiveness that shows us, you know, hey, I'm going to be okay. I'm still able to do good things and move on. That's what it's all about, instead of people just, you're a smoker, you don't belong in church. And I've had people fucking tell me that.
Yeah.
And like those mega churches are a different breed altogether. That's where you get that's where these fucking Karens are coming from, man, or from Second Baptist Church.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right away, because I run into them in the parking lot.
Or like Lakewood or something.
Yeah. Oh, fucking don't even get me started on Joel Osteen's bitch ass.
Oh, we've roasted him plenty.
Now I have a quick question. I brought this topic up before with these mega churches. Is it ever possible to even, like, once you get to a certain level of just, let's just say, for lack of a better word, clout in the community, when you get big enough to where you get pretty much a godlike like a god complex, where you feel like, man, I'm in charge of so many people, so many people are listening to me, that is it impossible to not kind of like,
have you
get corrupt from there?
Have you seen that Hillsong documentary?
Not even the Hillsong. What was the other one? Homeboy.
I know which one you're talking about.
But even local, like
that's the thing that drives me nuts.
Did you know Hope City?
Hope City. Yeah. I know exactly. That was
Bro,
my next thought.
Wait,
Jeremy something.
Yeah, Jeremy.
It's okay.
Whatever.
It's okay. We know who we're talking about.
But dude, and then like the church put out this video where it was like they had like this beat in the background, and it's like it felt like they were inviting you to church, but they're like trying to break the news, like, hey, Pastor Jeremy's no longer on staff. He cheated on his wife. It's cool. She didn't go here though. She didn't come to the church. Come to church tomorrow. It just
he fucked outside the congregation, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay.
The building is still pure.
They're all going to be. No, because they knew that Sunday. They were all going to be looking around
at
the
each
crowd
other like,
that bitch Debbie. I knew it was her.
Yeah. Look at what she's wearing, dude. She totally did it. Like,
you know it was her, right? And that's the crazy thing about that is like
confessional.
At that point, do you then like if you're at that point and you're at such a high level and you're not at that point even worried about what God's thinking anymore, you're just like, I got to make sure my position stays
Bro,
intact.
that dude hid $600,000 in a fucking basement bathroom.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Who thinks of who has the means to do that?
Yeah.
And
But more so, why? I'm still so confused on that situation.
I'm guessing it's just like a rainy day fund.
I want to go as wild as possible and say that he's like laundering money or like he's like
But it's also like
he secretly runs all the massage parlors in Houston.
Yeah.
Like that's what Joel Osteen's been covering up for this whole time.
yeah. Like that'd be crazy. And then it makes sense like, oh, that's why he didn't open the church during Harvey because
He had all the Asian prostitutes inside.
Well, no, not even. Like people would be just freely roaming around and somebody
grabbing
might
money from walls. You don't know.
You don't know.
That's how they found there was like a leak or something.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, that plumber is a fucking idiot. That dude who reported it.
Or what if he was just?
I would have said, I need 4 more weeks of work.
Yeah.
Don't mind me coming in and out of here with my tool bags.
And then you quit your job.
yeah,
and you're out.
100%. Get the fuck out of there.
I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
since you mentioned being, starting comedy about a year now. So I assume that you started, mid-pandemic or probably right before the pandemic. So how was that, navigating that with the comedy clubs? I know we were in Texas, so we said we shut down, but we didn't really shut down.
No, so it was kind of, I joined halfway through the pandemic, and so clubs had just started opening back up when I started, like probably a month before, and the only reason I got into it was I lived out in Katy at the time, and so I was drinking, playing pool with my friend Mike at a bar out in Katy, and his friend Nick Lott comes up. And we start playing pool, and he goes, "Hey, do you guys like comedy?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I love comedy." And he's like, "Well, I'm doing a stand-up show tonight at Brass Tap if you want to come." And I was like, "I'm absolutely going to be there. I've been trying to get into the comedy scene for fucking ever and never knew how." And so I went. I had a great time. I met some of the bookers, got in on the website, and just off to the races.
And how was that first initial set?
Wild. It was wild. So it was International Women's Day.
Okay.
Okay.
And there were 2 female comedians in the crowd, Leah and Judea. I'm not going to say their last names, but if anyone in the comedy scene is listening, they know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. And they were fighting over, they got in a open-fisted, brawl over this dude, Jack. And
on International Women's Day, that's
on International Women's Day.
That's disrespectful to
How are you
women.
gonna put yourself back in the kitchen?
It was
How you gonna Burger King yourself like that?
it's like, bitch, we are not in the 1950s.
Yeah.
And no, they got in like a fist fight over this dude, Jack. 2 black chicks over a white guy. It was the most confusing shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so fucking no one's stopping it. And so I just passed Chance's leash off, and I pulled one of the girls because I had met her a couple days ago. I pulled Leah out to the parking lot, and I had cuts like all over my chest from where she scratched me up. And I walked back inside, and the bartender, he goes, "Hey man, thanks. You didn't have to do that." I was like, apparently I was the only one willing to do that.
Yeah.
And so he hands me a shot of Jack, and then the fucking host taps me on the shoulder and goes, "Hey bud, you're up." And so I just kind of meander on first time doing comedy ever.
Wow.
And so I just meander on stage, and I'm just like, "Happy International Women's Day, everybody. We have strong, independent women out here that don't need no man. They do all their fighting themselves. Luckily, I spent today celebrating International Women's Day by watching women's UFC fighting. More strong, independent women, so I knew how to get that bitch in a chokehold and take her outside."
Yeah.
That's the only part I remember, because after that, I want to say I told a joke that it took me over a year to figure out how to work it organically on stage. I just said, "Yeah, me and my mom, we had a pretty off and on relationship till I was about 12 years old, and she got really distant, really cold. And, I started doing some reading to see if there was something I could do to fix the relationship, and turns out I had the looking glass on the Ouija board upside down the entire time."
All right.
So all my messages were coming in backwards.
All right.
So with no warning of telling them that my mom's dead. That's where I came
That's how
from.
they find
No,
out.
I think that's the best way to do it.
No, my favorite one now is I'll say, you know, I've been in comedy for over a year now. I really owe it to my mom because she gave me the life experience and the courage to be able to come up here and tell you guys all these pussy jokes. Thanks, Mom. But no, luckily my mom died. She OD'd when I was 12 years old, so got that dark humor early in life.
Yeah.
And at that point, at least 2 people in the crowd were like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know. You guys got so connected to my mom for such a short period of time. Then she was ripped away from you.
All right.
Mid-set.
I wonder how that feels.
I realized, and you know, I don't know what is the unfortunate, like you see that story a lot with like when something happens to a parent when like when a kid's young, it really almost is like a double-edged sword because I truly feel like, of course, it's a terrible situation, but you kind of see that some of like it helped people develop into like who they can, you know, like it makes them develop into a person that they probably wouldn't have if they wouldn't have gone through that kind of adversity.
I think about it every day because so I lived in Kentucky at the time. When my mom died, I was 12, and her and my dad were divorced. And so when I was 16, we moved to Houston. If my mom was alive, I never would have moved to Houston. Never would have joined the Marine Corps. I would have ended up going to Asbury College in buttfuck Kentucky, hating my fucking life. Because I've never done school. I've been working with my hands since I was 15. Like, I don't do school. I'm smart. I graduated at the top of my class for all 3 of my classes in the Marine Corps. Like, I was top Marine. So if I care about it, I'll study it. But fucking math, get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm dyslexic too, so I learned how to read with Hooked on Phonics because there's a Yeah, exactly. Hooked on Phonics. She's heard of it.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a rhyme and reason how words work. So even if my brain mixes it up a little bit, I know what the word is because I know how it's supposed to go. But with math, no,
right.
And you start tossing the letters in there, get fucked algebra. No one needs you.
Yeah.
Never.
Until you do, though,
Yeah.
you start realizing later on, you're like, I ain't never need this. And then one day you're over there trying to solve for X.
Why the fuck are you solving for X? Even selling weed, you don't even have to solve for X.
If you do, if you get stuck in a weird situation, if someone gives you a certain every other piece of the equation except for that one, that's not going to be your X. If someone says, "Yo, I paid
There are
X
2
amount of
pieces
money,"
to that equation. There's money and there's weed.
nah. What if you get like mass versus actual, like how big does it look versus how much does it actually weigh versus how much is that worth?
That's what a fucking scale's for, my
What
man.
if you don't got the scale, dog?
Eyeball that shit.
That's when you got to start solving for X.
That's a pretty good gram right there. Right there.
About yay big.
Depending on so I smoke indicas, so those are dense fucking nuggets. So this is a grammer right there.
All right. See, what if the X was the strain? I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying that as I've started living life, I started getting myself in situations where I was like, damn.
You're just going into the mathematics of writing a menu at this point.
Nah. You ever been looking at a triangle and be like, damn.
Is it a triangle?
Is it a triangle?
Yeah.
And then what is that degree? Is that a right angle? And then you got to start solving. Then you got to start paraboling. You know what I'm saying?
Parabolating. Got to find that parabola.
See what I'm saying? Then when you start having to parabolize.
No, I'm always looking at circles and trying to find the radius.
Yeah.
Fuck them parabolas.
That's been the issue. You know what I mean? So then I start realizing, see, this is why we be learning this.
I walk into bars and I go, show me that circumference, girl.
Yeah.
Yes! For real, that's the best way to know now.
Yeah. You trying to find, the latitude and the longitude of the G spot, and
You ever been at the bar and you see a hot girl and you trying to see if you can look for her ex? You know what I'm saying?
Normally, I just go for
There's
the
no need for that one. I apologize.
I go for the panty. I go for the angle lines in the jeans for that one. If there are no angle lines,
not only that,
that's an
depending
open
on
field of communication, right?
the
there.
amount, if they put their drink choice out in public for people to
You
buy,
talking like you ain't married.
No, I'm just saying. See, what I've been doing lately is I've been living vicariously through Roman, right? Where like I'll be at the store. I'll be at
By
the store.
the way, so okay, sorry.
Which him and I are both married.
I got
so
stories about Roman now.
I'll be at the store. We were at the. First of all, tell me why this boy has me in Trader Joe's with my dog. First of all, he's been hanging around you too much, and so we're at the store and I see this girl.
But I do white things.
He always does white things though. We'll explain how white he is in a little bit, but we're at the store.
He has a satchel.
And I see this girl and I said, Roman, look,
Yeah.
go say something. He's like, what do you mean? I said, here, take Bella, because you know bitches love bitches. You know what I'm saying? So like I told him, you got to go out there, you know, this and this and that. Go pretend like you grabbed the wrong hummus, you know what I'm saying? And then, and then you know what I'm saying? You do what you got to do from there.
I didn't grab the organic hummus. I grabbed, you know.
Exactly. And then you flex. You say, yo, fuck this non-organic hummus. I need no GMOs. And you grab the other one.
No MSG, you know.
Speaking of GMOs, what's your 713? And y'all go from there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Is this what it's like to live in downtown Houston? Out in Katy, that is not how grocery stores work at all.
that's not.
Not even slightly.
No,
We have
no.
HEB, bro.
Yeah, they have HEB.
No, see, this isn't downtown, but right here we got Whole Foods, Sprouts, Phoenicia, a Fiesta. But if you really ain't got it like that, you can go down the street. There's a Food Town.
I know we got a Fiesta out in Katy.
Yeah.
I think.
That's where y'all
But
get y'all
Fiesta,
pinatas
I mean,
from.
Food Town.
Y'all's Arbol Chili's.
Food
No,
Town
we go to
be,
Kroger for that shit.
dude, Food Town be low key like scamming you.
They really do.
Because you go in thinking, oh, this is the cheap grocery store.
Because it's ugly.
Yeah.
But then you end up spending more.
Yeah.
Pretty good marketing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they just make themselves ugly so you think, oh, I'm getting a good deal. And then you go to Walmart and you're like, yo, they're fucking me over here.
Yeah. Or like same thing with like if you go to, I don't know if you've ever heard of a Jovi's. So it's where it's basically it's HEB's crackhead cousin
Yeah.
that like it's a disappointment in the family. So it's like everything HEB couldn't sell or slash is damaged gets sold at Jovi's.
It's an HEB outlet,
Yeah.
Oh no, it's like Marshalls.
Yeah.
but for groceries,
Yeah.
which is, you know, worrying.
Yeah.
But we got in contact with you through Roman,
Yeah.
my 19-year-old brother, who, as of what, I guess maybe a month and a half ago, decided, hey, I want to do comedy. I said, well, the open mics are always happening at the secret group. I said, they all seem to be 21 and up, though. Some might be all ages, because it seems like when they do shows and stuff at the secret group, they're like all ages and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they
So I was
are.
like, okay, it might be an all ages type thing. So I don't know. And he's like, I'm going to just go and figure it out. And one day he took off.
Yeah.
He's been staying with me lately. He takes off and he doesn't get home till like 2 o'clock in the morning that night. And I was like, that's kind of a good sign, because in my mind, he was just going to go over there. They were going to tell him he can't do it, and then he was going to come home. So that night,
He had the tissues ready. He had like the
Yeah,
organic ice cream ready.
exactly. So
Bottle of Lubriderm in his bedroom.
shows up, gets told he can go in, then gets told he can't go in. Then is upset outside the club, bumming cigarettes off somebody. Bumps cigarettes off of somebody named Marlo.
Yep. Marlo Ray.
He then tells them what's going on. They start getting into conversation. He goes, hold on. Like, I know some people in here. Let me see if I can pull some strings. Comes back out. And since then, Roman's been going to the secret group almost every night. Then going to Darwin's. He's been joining that little thing. Going to Brass Taps a few times.
Yeah.
By the way, homeboy tried to keep this shit from me. He got towed last week.
He got told.
He got towed.
Oh, so did
Oh.
Homeboy got towed last week. I pull up in his car. I was like, "Yo, what's that orange? What's that orange, right?" And he goes, "Oh, I got towed." I was like, "What?" Yeah. I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, you didn't call me?" And he's like, "Well, I got a ride over there and stuff. I had to pay like $200 and some dollars.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all good."
Dude, that happened to me. That happened to me at a booked show. I got paid to do a show, and then my truck got towed because I misread the fucking sign.
It was like
That's a
timing
bummer.
differences.
Yeah,
or
it
what?
was timing
Yeah.
differences.
Oh yeah. That you're there too long or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a time limit. It was like the hours of operation or whatever.
Oh,
and I
okay.
misread the
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
And so I thought I was fucking good.
Yeah.
And come back out 2 hours later.
Yeah.
I have a phenomenal fucking set. And I just go, fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's the tension where I was living in the city. Like, there's certain places I just straight up won't go to if it's like a pain to park.
Yeah. No, and this was my first time getting booked at this club. And so I was kind of, I drove around like 3 times trying to find a parking spot. And
Right.
I finally just went up a street
Yeah.
and misread the hours of operation.
Yeah.
And it gets you. That's the kind of stuff that
Yeah.
makes you start just reading everything. It starts
Right,
making you
right,
just
right.
pay for parking
Yeah.
precautionally.
Oh,
just,
dude.
you know, because then you're like, oh,
I'd
you know,
rather-
I
yeah,
could,
'cause
I
it's
could have
like you
paid
got-
$6.
Yeah.
And now I got to deal with like all this. But you see him like kind of go through all this adversity and make it. And I'm like, this is the one time we've seen him like legit
Actually, like,
do something on his own without
Yeah,
us
yeah.
being on him, being like, hey,
yeah, you have to like.
you got to do this because
I'll tell you, kid's fucking funny. He's got some, he's good in front of a crowd.
He's matured a lot too. Like I was telling Zen, he met my wife, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to be like apologizing for him. He's gonna just say crazy stuff, but he was like making her laugh. Like it was a good time.
So I'm you know, for me as a brother, you're always gonna have that like little brother thing where you think that everything he's doing is kind of cringy or anything that he's doing is kind of. So I try to objectively, especially from this, step away and be like, look, go find yourself comedically. Go out there every night and do your thing.
He doesn't let us go.
well,
He,
I won't go and I won't watch his recorded sets because I know myself. I don't want to affect him finding himself right now.
See, my little brother is legit a fucking moron. Like, he went to find himself and he ended up at a horse farm in Kentucky jacking off horses.
Like
His job-
recreationally or?
I hope not, but his job title was stud collector.
Oh, all right. You go.
I mean, does he
stud.
use his hands or does he at least have a machine?
He's
Like, if you use the machine, there's
he's
at least some dignity
he's a
in it.
fluffer, so he had to fluff it before it got
Oh,
into the
okay.
machine.
So he's the foreplay guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
he's
no.
like he's got the music, the wine.
Oh, yeah. He lit the candles.
Yeah.
He gave him a nice pet on the snout.
Oh,
And then brought in the world's most giant pocket pussy.
okay.
There was one time he fucking called me while he was on the job one time, and one of my good buddies, Cameron, was in the truck. We were driving to Colorado, and so he's talking. He goes, "Yeah, I'm at work." I was like, "Oh man, your arms must be tired, huh?" He goes, "Fuck you," and then he out of nowhere we just hear, "Oh no, it got on my cheek."
Oh.
That is
But
not the job you
but-
want to be on the phone
but
talking
through the phone speaker in through the Bluetooth, we heard it got on my teeth.
to. Ooh.
And so me and Cameron both instantly lose our fucking minds. I had to pull over to the side of the road. I was laughing so fucking hard. And I go, "I can't believe it got in your mouth." He goes, "No, on my cheek." But we still heard teeth. And I was like, we both yelled, "Your teeth are in your mouth, you fucking idiot." And then he spelled it out.
Yeah.
He's like, CHEEK.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that private school education paid off.
Yeah.
No, I was like, God damn, that's so close to your mouth.
Still, yeah, it's still your
Still like
face.
on your face, but then
Yeah.
at that point,
He got money shotted by
Yeah.
Seabiscuit.
but all right, at that point, especially if you're dealing with, you're probably dealing with some high class horses here.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was breeding racehorses.
So
That's the most expensive
do you
money
have-
shot that
Right.
he'll.
Do you have to say no homo before everything though?
pause. You have to pause before you do anything
Yeah.
with this horse. You got to pause the whole way, just like,
Hey, guy, I'm not doing this because I want to.
Yeah.
all right, don't even look at me with those eyes. But there's always like the fake room. I don't know if it's true or not that they be saying like that you try to use towards your girl where it's like it'll work as a moisturizer. Hey, you use it and it cleans your face up. Would you at that point not just kind of give it a go just to be like, let me just check out if this gonna moisturize me a little bit?
Absolutely not.
I ain't gonna let this go to waste. You know what I'm saying?
I
Monetarily.
absolutely am. I will commit so much genocide and not put it on my face.
No, I'm not
I will
doing. We ain't doing that.
sacrifice billions of lives.
But if it's already on your face, if it's already on your cheek.
My aim's not that bad, bro.
No. I'm saying for your boy.
Oh, for my brother. Oh.
Yeah. If it's already on your cheek, do you not go, let me see if this is a good moisturizer real quick?
Do you rub it in? Oh.
That was the gayest thing.
It's not even, pause, by the way.
That looks
pause,
like,
by the way. It's not even for sexual reasons. It's for cosmetic
it's purely
purposes.
Scientific.
It's purely cosmetic.
Yeah, trust the science, bro.
Trust the science. First of all.
But where your head, so your face gets cummed on.
I'm just.
No, hang on. This is your train of thought right now. Your face gets cummed on, and you instantly, the first thing your brain says is, maybe it's a good moisturizer.
If I'm trying to look at the bright side. I'm trying to look at the bright side.
Your first thought isn't, oh my God, I just got cummed on.
Why? Well, first of all, if I'm in the position where cum is possibly going to get on my face,
I'm wearing a face mask.
I'm wearing a face mask.
I'm wearing a Jason-style hockey mask, so this horse is fucking scared of me.
Yeah.
All right.
That horse is going to go, I'm not coming on that guy's face. He looks like Jason.
All right. I don't know how we even got to this point.
My brother fucks horses.
Now that we've gotten past that.
Oh, my brother's an idiot. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You were saying...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. But I will say, so... I want to say it was maybe the second time I met Roman, but the first time I hung out with him. Because he was just asking me questions and shit. And
As
then
he does.
Yeah.
We always be talking about...
He's a curious dude.
I like it.
Yeah.
He asks good questions, although he asks dumb questions too.
Yes.
There's some good questions in there that you're like, oh, that's good that you're thinking about this, and then there's some that you could just ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Some that I do.
I love him to death, but he says some dumb shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But no,
one does at that age.
He was asking me for advice on this girl that he had been messaging on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't know, like it seemed like it was going well. And I was like, let me just read what happened. And it was going very good. I was proud of the good. And then she shared like 3 playlists with him. And
is he turning into What's Up, Caleb?
He's the worst.
oh, just wait, there's more to the story.
Okay.
And so I think that was the morning he came home at 2 a.m. That was because me.
Oh, he goes home at 2 a.m. almost every night.
Well, no,
Point.
that first time though, I'm pretty sure that was because of me, because we were out in the parking lot. He goes, God damn, this is the latest I've stayed out. So that might have been my fault. But she shared like 3 of these playlists that clearly meant a lot to this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And this fucking idiot, he goes, I appreciate the fact that you have so many playlists.
I can't stand this kid.
He cannot just he's like, I'm not gonna
I looked at him and I went, you're a fucking idiot. You're supposed to say, that was awesome. I'm gonna listen to this all day tomorrow. That's what you're supposed to say when she shares a playlist that she created with you.
Yeah.
You don't say, I appreciate the fact.
I can see like the in his head being like, he thought he said what you wanted him to say.
Yeah. Oh God.
But and
then after that, she was 1-word answers. And then I gave him advice, but I forgot that it was 2 a.m. when I gave him this really good advice, because they were supposed to meet for coffee the next day. And so I just told, because he hadn't responded after her last no-word answer, I was like, look, just text her, tell her, you guys can create your own playlist at coffee tomorrow. I was like, that's not a bad line. And so I forgot that was at 2:45 in the morning.
Jesus.
That's a wild what you do in
Whoops.
text.
Huh?
If you send it at that time,
That's a crazy you
that's
up.
a crazy you up text.
Yeah.
You might be a
I
serial
didn't
killer.
even think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I was just, and I didn't think he was going to send it then either.
He doesn't think
He
about
doesn't
stuff
think
like
about
that.
that.
Neither.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm super ADD and ADHD, so I'm kind of impulsive. That's why the dog is here with me. He keeps me out of jail.
That's good.
Yeah,
You have to think about the dog before you think of any decisions.
Before anything, yeah.
Yeah, it's like what's gonna happen to my dog? You
Like,
know?
what we going? If I do that, what's Charlie gonna do?
Yeah,
Chance.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it was a CH name.
yeah.
I was like, Charlie, I wasn't in Vietnam, my guy.
But I did want to ask you. So you mentioned commercials before we started rolling.
Yeah.
So did you do that before comedy, or did the comedy lead into commercials?
So the comedy led into commercials. Now, I had done skits for the kids at church and stuff like that. So
Right.
I had been making videos. So that definitely made it easier to shoot because I did a lot of the camera work and I was having to figure out trick shots of how to, like, we had one circle light
yeah.
and then an overhead fan and then a closet light. That's what we were working with. So I'm sitting there having to figure out how to shoot this from the right angle without getting any shadows, while getting the best sound, doing trick shots around the door so I don't show up in the mirror, but we can still see the mirror.
Right.
With all the green screen included. So it was a lot of fun, like, working that creative side of my brain. That was pretty cool. And I want to keep doing it. Me and Jamal and Tyler had a really good time.
Nice.
We've been having this topic of conversation a lot in the regular podcast about, like, you see what happened with Chris Rock and you see what happened with Dave Chappelle
Chappelle.
recently.
Yeah.
Bro.
Is it starting to be a change in the tides of how people view comedians, and are they now not letting them kind of, like, be as free, do you think? Do you think it's like a trend now to hate
No,
comedians?
Not in Houston. I had one dude, this was probably 8 months ago. I had a guy try to come up on stage, and I didn't have a problem. I just kind of nudged him back with my foot, and he just sat back down. It wasn't a big deal. That's the only time I've ever had it happen. But no, since all this Will Smith, Chris Rock shit happened, no one in the, like, I've been making jokes about it. Like, if somebody stands up during my set, I'll be like, hey, motherfucker, we're not doing that tonight.
Yeah.
You can get your drink after my show. You're making me nervous.
Yeah.
But
Walking up here.
Yeah.
now, how do you deal with? Do you get a lot of? Is there times where people can get aggressive? Maybe outspeak at least, because I think it's like what I'm realizing is people's tolerance to, I guess, let's just say bullshit has gotten less. Like you're seeing like road rage, physical violence incidents go crazy in Houston. Even
I had a bitch last Sunday. I was hosting a show and she got upset that I called her a waitress.
I mean, what does she identify as?
No, that's exactly what I said. I sat down on the stool and I just went, Miss, I feel like we're splitting hairs here. I was like, what? Do you bring people food? She's like, well, yeah. I was like, and you clearly identify as a woman. She's like, yeah. I was like, you're a fucking waitress.
So is it like? But
Was she a server? Like what?
Yeah,
what-
Yeah, she was saying, I'm
okay.
a server.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say, is it the whole like strippers don't like being called strippers or exotic dancers?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
strippers do like being called strippers. Are you kidding me?
No, I mean like
Or is there a breed of strippers that don't like to be called strippers and like to think about it more artistically?
Pole dancers. I don't know. Like
See, but
that.
like, what's the difference?
Right, right,
Because
right.
I know what a burlesque.
'cause,
That's
like,
different.
It depends on what kind of club you're at, though, too. Because if it's like if it's not a full nude club, then they're dancers. If they're spread eagling their vagina around a fucking aluminum spinning pole, then that's a fucking stripper.
All right. So you seem to be a little well versed in the Houston strip club community. then.
No.
When you start talking full nude verse.
The world strip club community.
All
Don't
right.
forget 3 countries, 2 continents.
All right. So in our city, in our great H, what do you say is the spot?
Oh, I honestly could not tell you.
You don't be
I
going
gave
around?
it up. I gave it up after the Marine Corps, man, because
Okay.
I just watched all of my buddies waste so much fucking
Oh, yeah.
money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go if somebody invites me, but honestly, I don't really hang out with the type of people that go to strip clubs as much anymore.
This is funny.
I'm 28.
Yeah. When Zen was getting married,
He pulled the. All right. Look,
What
and I
is-
knew.
oh.
No, he pulled the worst. So I invited him to the bachelor party. We start off with like we're at a restaurant in the Heights, and there's like a full dinner there. We're having drinks. We're playing the games.
Everyone's having a good time.
We're doing the thing, right? And then it's just not even really that I necessarily am desiring it, but what seems to be like I have to do is hit the strip club afterwards, right?
Okay.
It's just kind of like my dad's like feeding. Like, he's playing games where he's like giving out money so that people got strip club money.
Your dad's just sitting there like, you're never gonna see titties again. Take this opportunity.
Right. Do this, right?
Yeah.
I got the boys with me that are kind of strip club guys that are like, and I'm like, Pablo, I know I have a few friends that are kind of like not about that shit. They're just not strip club guys at all, right?
And then
Pablo being one of them.
And then he ended up getting blown behind the strip club.
No, he acts like he's going to pull through. I said, bro, I know it's crazy, but you just chill. It's gonna be like
he said, they have a special ceiling where like God can't see you.
I did say that.
And I was like, no, they don't.
I said he can't see above those. I said it's like RFID protected. Yeah. Like you can't see through those. He ain't got that vision. But he's like, all right, yeah, no, I'm just gonna be there for a little bit. And then, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I sent him the address. We're on the way. I'm like, finally, I got him. As I'm halfway there, he goes, hey, I'm going to just go back to the apartment, bro. If y'all hanging out afterwards, just give me a text. Yeah. And I said, all right, dog, I see how it is. Yeah. I see how it is. So he's like, I wouldn't say he's anti-strip club, but he's anti-strip club.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's not well-versed. But if we're talking about in the world, I truly think strip club isn't a strip club addiction. It's a gambling addiction. Because every guy who pulls up to a strip club low-key thinks, if I throw enough money, like the annoying people about it.
I always went in if I throw enough game.
But that, because you're actually like intelligent, like you're actually witty. But for people who aren't, they're like, yo, if I throw this amount of money.
If I put $3,000 down on that stage, she'll suck my dick.
Maybe. And then it's a gambling addiction, dog. Yeah. I think they're like, this might be a gamble.
What happens is she walks off stage and goes, guys, I just made $3,000.
Right.
I'm going home early.
Yeah. That's what the house says. That's what the house says.
That's
you know
the
what I'm saying?
rules.
That's the house. The house always wins.
Yeah.
So globally, what have you seen before you reformed?
Oh.
Before you reformed, what were you say, yo, this is the spot?
Shit or the coolest strip club?
Let's go with the coolest strip club.
And did you start going in for the food?
And don't. Do you say you're going for the food?
Dude.
Is it as good as
I do not say I'm going for the food, but if they have a fucking buffet in there, bro, I will sit there eating chicken and waffles, talking to strippers all night long.
That just seems it's conversation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, dude, I'd much rather watch them get naked and talk to them on their time without paying them. Like if you're having a good conversation, they'll sit there and fucking talk to you without you having to give them anything. Mm-hmm. And then you'll order like a 5-minute dance. Yeah. It's $20. Yeah. Not that bad. She tries so hard in that 5-minute dance.
Did I ever because she thinks she's gonna get you hooked.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're getting the best deal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she thinks that if she does really good, I'm gonna drop another $20. Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
He's like, little did she know that was my only $20.
Yeah. Little does she know I'm getting more chicken.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but at the apartments that I live at, I'm pretty sure like a stripper lives there.
Okay.
Because
I can guarantee you that at least a sex worker lives there or someone with an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I live like close to the Heights.
Oh, there's multiple people with OnlyFans.
So this is what happened. I went to go to Shipley's to get some kolaches and donuts for my wife and I. It was pretty early in the morning, especially because this Shipley's in the Heights is really good. If you like, they'll sell a lot of certain stuff. I don't know what they do. Only family are allowed to work that Shipley's. Like, I know it's a chain, and it sounds crazy to say that this Shipley's
started
is different.
in Houston.
Yeah,
so it might be one of the originals.
Right. So this one's like really good, and so I'm coming back, and then I park at the front, and I see this one girl, and she's wearing like this like onesie, like a tiger onesie, and she's got like the hood up, and I'm like, that's odd. And like I'm just walking, like we're both walking towards the entrance, and I see like full glitter in her face, and like she's holding like giant clear stilettos, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep my distance.
That's her
See,
out. That's her
bro.
walking home outfit. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the full tiger zip up.
And then and she's got like a big bag with like sequin stuff coming out of it.
Nah, dude, she just got off a shift in Bissonnette.
Yeah.
Bro,
I live right on Bissonnette.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's a Burger King. Do you know where I'm talking about?
I worked in that big, that big
yeah.
park, the big,
the empty fucking the buildings behind that lot.
yeah.
Was
Okay,
that when
yeah.
you were with AT&T?
Yeah. So when I was working there, it's so crazy because I was working night, like late shifts where I'd get off at like 11:30, and you're like, what? You're driving through the street and you're like, how the fuck are people not just getting arrested right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like, and that's the thing is
Even when we picked up Alicia
Chance.
that one day, that was crazy.
So now, what would you say is like your goal? What are your goals that you've been kind of set in comedy, and how like do you think that the scenes kind of helped you with that? But here's one of my big things is with Houston. I think Houston is a very hit or miss with scenes in general. I've been seeing as like concerts and stuff go on, like Houston as an audience is very hit or miss.
yes.
Like I've seen
And
comedians.
he was in a metal band, so they did the whole thing. They like toured. And
Yeah,
all that.
which for music, it depends on like there's
would say-
elitisms around a lot.
There's a difference between touring for music and comedy, I would say.
Yeah. But meaning as like attending shows and stuff like that in the city, I see sometimes like I think artists don't like our crowd sometimes. You have to be a specific artist that like the whole city loves. Like you have to be Drake or like Bad Bunny. But if you're like anyone else, you might get real mixed reactions. You may get we have so many people, but you may get like hardly anybody at your show. It won't sell out. I see that a lot in our city. I see that a lot in our venue. I see a lot of heckling in like bigger shows. Like people wanting to be like the center of attention a lot.
I don't mind hecklers as long as like you get your one and done and I get my one and done and then we can move the fuck on. I don't mind that. But don't just like blatantly interrupt my fuck. I had that happen Tuesday and I straight roasted a guy on stage. I was yelling so loud. Pedro came in from outside and he gets up on stage and he goes, "Yo, I don't know who pissed Sean off, but I just need to warn whoever that was. He's a veteran and will absolutely beat the fuck out of you."
It's like the specific thing is like I tried to go to an open mic thing that was going on at the Improv, and then it turns out that like Ali Sadiq was doing a thing there instead.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's cool. It wasn't expensive.
And I don't think they restarted the open mic at the Improv
I
yet.
never feel like they did.
They
afterwards.
haven't.
I think it's
restarted
because
it.
of they're bigger.
Well, because
Yeah.
now you have to sell
They're
it.
bigger
Now
entity.
at those places, you don't sell them by the seats anymore. You sell them by the tables. So you have to buy the whole table now. And like that's the way that the
Yeah.
Improv has been doing their stuff. But
I like
before-
it. I like it though.
I haven't been to a show really since I think like Whitney Cummings. I think I saw her last there, and they were doing it by the tables. But like since then,
I saw-
I haven't.
Chance, I saw Donnell Rollins there. Chance started a fight.
What?
So we're standing in line. I got there really early. I'm standing in line right next to this really old black couple. And we were just sitting there talking, shooting the shit. And at some point, this drunk white guy comes over and he goes, "Hey, man, can I pet your dog?" I was like, "No, I'm sorry, sir. He's working right now." And then he reached down to pet the dog. So I fucking slapped his hand. I said, "No, sir. He's working right now." And then his friends called. They're like, "It's a service dog, dumbass. Get over here." So he wanders back over. And like 2 minutes later, just this gaggle of fucking drunk white people just sidles right in front of us while we had clearly been waiting right by the door but leaving enough room for people to walk out. And so I just kind of leaned over to this black lady. I was like, "Man, leave it to these uppity ass white people. Come in and gentrify our spot in line."
Yeah. Yo, speaking about gentrification, man.
She started giggling and Chance fucking, I was like, they're just lucky Chance doesn't go over there and bite them, kick their asses out of here. And all that drunk guy heard was "bite him." And so this idiot, this inbred cunt, thought that I had ordered my service dog to go over and bite him and his friends. So he starts trying to come after me and call me names and shit. So he grabbed me. I fucking twisted his hand. I may or may not have popped his thumb out. And I told him, "Don't do that." And I just walked away while he was calling me all types of names. and they were still cleaning off all the tables. And so I just went down there. I didn't know what to do, so I just started folding fucking tablecloths.
Like, I'm gonna just help you out.
Yeah. The manager walks down. He goes, excuse me, did you tell your dog to bite somebody? I said, no. He misheard a joke that I was saying to the lady next to me. He goes, yeah, I was pretty sure you didn't tell your dog to bite somebody. And then at that point, I look over, and my friend Jeff Joe, shout out Jeff Joe, he's opening for Donnell Rollins. Like, holy shit.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so I go over and hang out with him, and then every 5 minutes after that, a different staff member would come up and give us updates on what this idiot was doing. And then my friend Nate finally comes in. He goes, bro, you fucking missed it. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, some dude is outside fighting like 3 door guards. I was like, yeah, that may or may not be my fault. He goes, I fucking knew it was you. I was like, how? He goes, the guy's out there screaming, he had a service dog. He told him to bite me.
That's so wild.
That's crazy.
But
so then I saw Donnell Rollins perform, and anytime he said anything about white people, he was like looking me dead in my eyes.
Yeah.
To the point where Nate looks over at me, he goes, did you do something wrong to him? I was like, I think I'm just the closest white person that you can see.
Yeah.
like, I gotta put everything in on you. He's gotta pick.
Yeah.
You think he's gotta pick a target? Because I feel like anytime I see Donnell Rollins, he like legit gets emotional about it.
I walked out feeling a little guilty.
Yeah.
I didn't even do anything. I'm Native American. We're having this conversation on my land.
Did you see the whole Kill Tony situation with Donnell Rollins?
No, what happened?
So basically, like, they have this golden ticket thing where, like, they can give someone a golden ticket that they can redeem at any time. So it's like, if you get a golden ticket, you have to have like a really great, I don't know what.
No, my
constitutes
buddy
getting it.
Michael got on Kill Tony, and he's got the notebook and everything. Yeah.
Well, it's like the notebook they'll give to you afterwards, but basically, if you have like a really, really special performance that stands out to these people, they'll give you what's called a golden ticket, which allows you to, anytime you happen to be at a Kill Tony and you say, hey, I want to redeem my golden ticket, you're going to get on stage that night. You don't have to get pulled out. It's not like you're just basically saying, I'm redeeming my golden ticket tonight. So Donnell Rollins was performing. Someone redeemed their golden ticket. And they kind of tried to do the David Lucas style roasting and started roasting Donnell Rollins. And Donnell Rollins like got super emotional, like not even funny. Like at first he was saying funny get backs. Then he like legit kind of just like went off the rails and started kind of like, it just made things look real bad for him.
To YouTube this.
It started looking real bad for him, but other people started commenting it. It became a topic of conversation. People started kind of like talking about like, do they think that was that was constituted for him to just like go off on some like up and coming person who just turned in their ticket and was good and wanted to have some fun. But it makes me feel like he gets his art maybe from like real emotion, and maybe he's got to be like, I gotta fixate on one of y'all.
Yeah,
I gotta fixate on someone to get this
you gotta
really
dig it out of
feeling. I gotta dig it out.
On some like MJ shit. I don't know if you saw The Last Dance where he's like talking about like he would make up scenarios of people like
like someone could be like, good game. You're like, oh, you think you do better than me?
Yeah,
I see you,
dude. So something. It kind of on that spec, like for my PTSD, like that's part of the thing that happens to me is I'll imagine the craziest scenarios of shit that's never going to happen in a room, but my brain tells me like, this is what you're going to have to do if this happens. And it's the worst fucking black hole to get sucked down because you get sucked. You almost don't realize it's happening until it's over. And like I've played out scenarios in my mind where like we're entering dark territory. I'm gonna bail on that one. I'm gonna bail on that one.
Yeah.
But no, like that's one of the weird things for me in comedy is like there are certain clubs that I don't like going to just because they're packed, they're rowdy, and like there's a lot of shit.
Off.
There's just too much happening, and I like there are certain places I won't take chance into because it's so packed. But then like those are the times that I decked a comic one night because I didn't have chance, and he was fucking around and he nut tapped me.
Yeah. And
before I even knew it was happening, I had already tossed a right. And I was halfway through my left when I realized what was happening, and I couldn't pull out of it in time, and I tapped him right on the chin. And I'm sitting there. He stands up, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then he turns around and he goes, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't think about it.
But quickly, just like the last thing, it's like I want to kind of see what it is that we can do as like a city to promote more inclusion for like the arts, because I feel like for Houston, for some reason, it's looked at as just like a business city. Like there's a lot of art going on, but because it's not in one central location, it's everywhere. You don't really see it. It's like things are happening in so many different places.
It seems like it's more of a grind type of city where it's like making money. And
if they had like a festival at George R. Brown where they cut the building up into different types of art, like we had stand-up comedy, we had bands, we had, you know, chalk artists, street art, shit like that, like painters. And they had like a week-long thing of where everybody could do something at George R. Brown and multiple people from around the country could come see it.
I think that would be like really someplace cool. Like right now, even with comedy, like figuring out where the spots are. Like in New York, you can kind of like walk to multiple places. The idea of doing multiple spots in one night's more common.
From what I've heard, the scene in New York is so much smaller than what it is here in Houston. From people that I've heard, like just the amount of venues that you're able to go to are a lot less than what Houston has, because we go from all the way up to from Spring down to Sugarland and then all the way out to, you know, Bay City. Mm-hmm. That's how big the Houston comedy scene is. And there are nights that you could hit 4 or 5 shows if you really wanted to.
But like if you plan it out correctly,
you would have to plan it out.
And you mentioned a lot of like outskirts of like Houston, but do you do any shows actually in Houston?
Oh, all downtown, yeah. That's where the majority of my shows are.
Gotcha.
Like Rudyard's, Secret Group. My mic is shout out to El Pablito Open Mic Mondays.
And that's what I was going to ask you next. You know, for the people listening. That want to catch your shows, you know, where can they catch you?
So my mic that I run is at El Pablito Patio down at, I want to say 1411 Richmond Avenue. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Sean, Sean, Michaels, Michaels 94. And then you can also follow my service dog, Chance the Pupper, at Second Chance the Pupper.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to appreciate you for coming on. I think we got like a cool, get to know you. It was nice.
Yeah. No, I had a bunch of fun, and I think we covered a plethora of topics.
Right. Things that I didn't know we were going to talk about. I wasn't 100% well versed on the stud processing of stud collecting.
Yeah.
No, neither was I until it went on my brother's cheek.
And we will have to do more research because I'm curious. I've been hearing whale sperms in Cologne. That was always the thing. So I got to see if this stud sperm does anything moisturizing wise.
Yeah, you got to
get that.
Text me with the update on that because. Well,
you know,
my brother up. I got some red spots now. I need to get rid of.
Honestly, if that's the case, I mean, he might be able to off to the side, just you know what I'm saying?
Because you said it was prime. It's prime stuff. It's race horses.
It is. You know what I'm saying? Kentucky thoroughbred.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see if that, especially Kentucky specifically.
Yeah, we gotta trust the science.
Well, I mean, all Kentucky has going for us is we got horse racing and cousin fucking.
There's some chicken, I think, in there, right? Somewhere.
Okay, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that came from cousin fucking.
Oh no!
Unfortunately, my brother switched those two up, kind of, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I want to thank y'all for listening to the 2.5 Citizens podcast. We'll be back. This might be 2 episodes in 1 week, possibly.
Yeah.
Or we might.
Yeah. Make sure you go to Anchor, drop the Anchor.
Go to Anchor, drop the Anchor.
YouTube.
Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and share this with somebody else. And Belly, you calm down. And we out.